Hello, everyone. My name is Grace Billman, and I'm going to be going over my community walk and how that leads into action in the community with the Timber Ridge Townhomes in Hermantown, Minnesota. So, a little bit about the Timber Ridge Townhomes. It's a private neighborhood there are 34 buildings in each. There are 34 buildings in Timber Ridge Townhomes, with each townhome having 6 different units. Um, Within these townhomes, they are 2 bedrooms, and there are a few 3 bedrooms that are over the laundry room. These are great for families of all generations. The road just recently got paved this last summer, which is nice, and each building has sidewalks going in and out. However, the sidewalks are not handicap accessible, so you have to step up into the building, and there are no stairs within the building. So to get to the second floor, you'd have to be handicap accessible, you'd have to be able to go upstairs. There are no handicap accessible buildings. Looking at access to public transportation, I know I have personally seen Hermantown and Proctor School District buses going through here, and there is a DTA bus that is less than a mile away, and Arrowhead Transit also passes through, dropping off and picking up people. So there are a lot of access to public transportation if you do not have your own car. Looking ahead into what is it nearby for different economic and cultural activities. You can see that Super One, Walmart, Sam's Club are all within a mile and a half. Same with Target, and then going to any university, such as the University of Minnesota Duluth or the College of St. Scholastica, those are within 5.5 miles to a little over 6. And looking at Hermantown school districts is about 4.5 miles, and to Bayview Elementary, which is in the Proctor School District, it's 6.5, and Proctor High School Middle School is 7.8 miles. If you need any sort of medical attention, there is the Essential Health Hospital, which is 6.3 miles away, or the Aspiris St. Luke's Hospital. Looking at the ER hospital is 5.9, where there's an urgent care that's 0.7 miles. So looking at kind of the age distribution of the population here at Timber Ridge, there are people of all ages, from babies to elders. And I know that the people who live across from us, it's a grandma, and she was talking about how she has grandchildren in 3 different units. So there's a family, multiple aspects of her family living throughout Timber Ridge. So it's nice to see that they're able to live in close proximities. Most of the people will travel by car or bike. There is a trail that goes from here to Walmart that I have seen people walking on as well. So just looking kind of at some pictures so you are better to able to understand Timber Ridge. It is a private road. So when you turn down the road, you can see that the public road ends here sign. Even though it is private, we do still have people that come in or pull off to the side and turn around. Also, delivery drivers such as DoorDash, Domino's, any sort of pizza delivery, or Target or Super One or Walmart delivery also comes in as well. It has a couple corners, so it's kind of tucked back in once you hit the private road or the public road and here sign. You don't really know what you're driving into until you get to the first set of townhomes, which, if you can see my mouse down here, there's coming up into this Starlight Loop is the first loop. But before that, there are 2 corners, probably a 1/4 mile long, coming back here. So you don't quite see anything until you hit this first one, and then you're like, wow, it's kind of a whole neighborhood. They don't realize how many units are back here just because it is a private road. So it's definitely a mini community that not many people know about unless you know of Timber Ridge or know of people who live here. Mailboxes are a nice facility here at Timber Ridge. UPS, FedEx delivers as well, and each of the mailboxes, you each get a mailbox with a key, and um, the mailboxes, there are two different sets of mailboxes. And instead of having them at your building, there are two sets of mailboxes. There also is an opportunity to rent garages. Not all the buildings have garages next to them, so there's definitely less garages than there are to buildings and people. And each of them has a little privacy fence, which for some neighbors, you kind of go around the privacy fence to be able to talk and communicate with them. And for others, they like to stay in their little privacy fence. The playground and the basketball hoop and field is definitely a popular destination for all sorts of young children and teenagers. I have seen some of my students at the playground, but I've also seen some of my high school youth from a church I work at part-time coming in, and they come in and play with some of their friends who live here. So people from outside of the Timber Ridge community come and use the field and basketball hoop as well to play with their friends who live inside of Timber Ridge. You can see in front of the townhome, there's a nice sidewalk and some parking spot. So looking at a reflection, kind of what did I learn throughout my two walks that I have done through Timber Ridge? I noticed that there were multi-generations here. Um, I have seen families of three generations. Like I had mentioned with the lady who lives across from me, she has had couple of her grandchildren live in other units around. And I've also seen some of my high school youth coming to play with their friends in the field. And it is crazy to say that even though there is a speed limit posted, they still drive much faster now that our road has been paved. I also, since this is my second year of teaching, and now I'm in a classroom rather than doing English language learners and math intervention, I have my own classroom of 28 students and do social emotional learning for all of the fourth grade. So I serve 6 classes of 28 students apiece with SEL. I have seen multiple of my students live here. Some even have come up and asked if I will be out and about on a walk because they want to stop and say hi. So connecting to the course, I really liked the quote. The largest part of our soul nerve goes through your gut, which has about 100 million neurons, more than your spinal cord. This is why we sense so many things in our belly, and why some biologicalists call the gut our second brain. The second brain is where our body senses flow, coherence, and the righteousness or wrongness of things. It continues to say, another purpose is precisely the opposite, the message of it's okay, you're safe right now, you can relax. I really think that applies here to Timber Ridge as a home for hundreds of people, that is their safe place. They have students, parents, grandparents. It is a place where they can relax. It is safe to play at the playground in the field. It is safe to walk around with. If your parents are out, you can take a loop around because it is a safe place. So that definitely understanding like the gut is the second brain, and that it's okay that you're safe here. Looking at what type of actions I can go ahead and take after doing my 2 community walks. This winter, I plan on helping shovel out. We have to shovel in front of our parking spot. And so I will be helping one of the elderly ladies who lives in the building right next door to us, and help shovel with the snow so it's not as hard for her. She also asked if I'd be willing to help with some of her gardening next summer. So with all my busy time, I'm going to make some time to help her as well. And I plan to engage in dialogue with anyone I see. whether it's on a walk or at the mailbox, just by simply saying hello or maybe hello, how are you? How's your day? And seeing where the conversation goes from there. My only resource I have used was that quote that comes from part two of In My Grandmother's Hands. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy.